Hey, what's up, guys? It's Varos from Oni Ballistics back finally. I'm sorry for the long hiatus in between videos, but these things take quite a while to get overseas. Now, this isn't like the company's fault or anything. This is just how logistics is right now with COVID and all these restrictions going on. And on top of the fact, these products are very specialized. So whatever your country's restrictions might be regarding customs and certain products like these might take a while. But know that for me, it took roughly 3 to 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks, somewhere around there. And I mean, I expected that. My last one that I ordered was pretty similar, but anyway, here it is. This is the PP-19 that they offer, otherwise known as the Bizon. You guys have probably seen this in COD Modern Warfare 2019. Apparently it's in PUBG. You'll see it in various video games, and here it is. I'm actually a huge fan of this in real life, so I'm really glad that they were able to make one, which is great. You know, it's got nice detailing here, nothing too complex, you know, to keep costs low, but just enough there so that you can actually say, oh, this is a Bizon. So something that I want to point out real quick is that the fire selector is actually pretty cool. So right now it's set to single fire, or manual fire as they call it. So basically you just take the charging handle here and you're ready to fire once, and you can do it again. So when you point the fire selector down, give it a second, you actually activate full auto mode, and this is enabled by a battery that's held in the stock compartment. So here, I'll go ahead and take it out. So here's the battery that it runs on. Now you get two of these with your with your purchase. You might see more laying around the box. That's just extras from my 416 that came in a while ago. So that just slides and locks into place like that. It's a pretty sturdy grip. I actually, you know, while I'm back here, I want to go ahead and cover it. It's a pretty decent grip. It's very full sized. So me, I'm 6 foot. You know, I'm a grown adult. So this is actually perfect for me. It might be a little alienating to a smaller person, but you can always just take it off and play with it like that. However, just bear in mind the lipo might flop around. So plan around that. But to the grip, this is actually a very comfortable grip. It's very decently sized. My hands are big, so this is actually pretty good for me. Here's what it sounds like in full auto. Now bear in mind, I haven't charged the batteries. The batteries arrive with a small amount of charge, around half I'd say, but definitely charge these things for at least an hour before you decide to use them. I haven't. I've been really lazy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I had a couple of issues too that I had to deal with regarding the product. Nothing inherently wrong with it, just stuff that I ended up doing, which I had to then go and fix. Spent about 2 hours last night, like trying to fix it. But regardless, charge the batteries, soak your gels at least 2 hours each. The battery charger, which is right here, comes in the package. This will stop blinking red when it's fully charged. So try not to overcharge the batteries. That's also dangerous. And don't run these things completely dry and try to use them. It's just not safe. But here's what it sounds like, at least with half a battery. I'm gonna go ahead and try it. So you can see it's a pretty decent rate of fire. You're looking at maybe, for right now, I'm thinking about maybe 5 gels a second. So multiply that by however a minute is. So up here at the front, we got a couple of interesting things. So first of all, this thing it's not threaded or anything. It's just friction fitted on the end of the barrel here. But it comes with this huge suppressor, which we saw in the 416. So this also friction fits on there, pretty much doubles the length of this thing, which is pretty cool. I mean, if you're into that. I don't really like it though, because this can negatively affect the performance. There's already 2 barrels in here. You don't want to add a third. Trust me, I opened it up. This thing was a nightmare to put back together. But if you don't like that, they also give you this little knob right here, which is pretty cool, I guess. It sort of acts like a little bit right there. Give it more detail, a little bit more depth to it, which is nice. The iron sights also surprisingly flip up. They can lock into place like that, but they're pretty usable. See if I can get that on camera here at all. I don't think it'll show up that well, but you get the idea. So it also comes with the same aim point sight that the last one came with, which is pretty neat. Same system on the Picatinny rail, you know, slide it in place, lock it up. Just be careful with this one, because I'm gonna try to get that real quick, hold it in place somewhat. So be careful where you put this. You don't want to put it too far forward. Reason being, the charging handle rides right along that. So you can definitely try, but I don't think you can get away with much on this. After a while, you're gonna be knocking that thing off, and you don't want to do that. So just be very careful with that. Try to put it as far back as you can. If not, you're just gonna have to rock with it naked, guy. I'm sorry. But here we have the magazine. So this thing holds about, I want to say 150 gels. Slides in just like this. It takes a lot to get used to. I still haven't gotten used to it, but up here up front, there's a small knob. I don't know if you can see that right there, that little gap. That's the knob up there. This clicks into place like so. So it's pretty secure on there. And to release it, you just go ahead and press this little lever forward, comes back down. Practice with this a while if you want to get real tactical with the reloads, but this is what it's going to look like. What else can I talk about? Oh yeah, the things that comes with. So these gels, they're not all part of this box. I've sort of mixed and mashed up a bunch of stuff that came with my M416. But basically, here are the gels that came with the M416. I don't know if I'm trying to get that under the light. So these are clear. These are clear gels. And these are the ones that came with the Bizon. So there's a difference already. You can see the blue ones they're a bit easier to see too when you're firing them off. If you're trying to get a sick shot on the camera, which I'm going to be trying to do. Hopefully people can actually see the gels this time. So like I said, there's 500 in each one. Came with like 15 of them, which is pretty awesome. Also comes with this iPro, which is pretty standard, and you should always wear them when you're playing around with this. Trust me, these things tend to bounce around a lot, and you don't want to get hit by that at all. Other than that, what can I say? The attachments from my M416 didn't really work on here. I'm sure that the Picatinny ones will. Like the scope is the same, so it will. I think the iron sights will work. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't want to rip them off because something happened to my M416, which I don't want to get into. But basically, make sure you pay attention to where you leave those things. You really don't want to put it somewhere that you forget about later. But in terms of size, as a size comparison, I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to scoot over and grab my 416. So here's the 416. There's the Bizon. You can see they're roughly the same size. Now this is with the stock extended. All right, so yeah, they're roughly the same size. This one's a bit more to scale, which I like. I love that. Now don't get me wrong, I love my 416, but when it comes to like realism and overall ergonomics, I like this one more. And I guess my only gripe with this is that there wasn't like another rail either on the side or something. I know that's a bit of a nitpick. That's not really an issue. It's just something I would have liked to see, because a foregrip or something, or hell, even like a light or laser would have been cool on the side. But it's whatever. I mean, to see like all the details, I guess it requires a less bit of tact. So I enjoy it. That being said, do not, under any circumstances, try to fix this thing yourself if you have any issues with it. If you have any issues with it, just contact the seller. TPACFTE is like amazing when it comes to customer service. I'm sure they'll be the same with you guys. I opened this up, and it was probably the worst decision I could have done, because again, I think I didn't soak my gels enough. Some of them got up here in the receiver part, and I could hear them sloshing around because they weren't firing. They were feeding from the tube, but they weren't firing. And I didn't want to have them all in there all the time. So what I did was I went ahead and undid all the screws. That took about like 30 minutes trying to do them, because some of them were like really snug in there. And to find a damn screwdriver that small, I mean, it was a pain for me. I can imagine how it might be for someone who doesn't have them on hand. But with that, there's some components in here that are just like snugly fit in there the one time. You try to do it a second time, and you're gonna have a very rough experience. This trigger pissed me off more than I could ever think, because it's attached to like, hold on. So the little clicky noise, here I'm gonna set this back to semi. This little noise that you hear, That's not, yeah, that's like a little component in there, and I struggled with that for so long. I think they had to do that because this is a really funky style of blaster, but still, oh my god, don't please don't try to open this thing. I learned my lesson. I don't even think I got it 100% like back together. Like, I'm sure some of these screws are not where they're supposed to be. There's like a minuscule difference in them, but like, if you can see up top what happens if you open it up yourself, things might not be 100% where they should be. You can see that splitting right there. This doesn't happen outside of the box. I did this. This is my fault. Don't assume that your product will be the same. I mean, this is a non-issue for me, especially if I slap the scope on it. No one's going to see it. It might even help because it's tightening up a bit, but everything works as intended. I got the issue that I need to get out of the way, so that's good. Other than that, I don't know what else I can say. This thing's an awesome product. I'm actually very happy to have one in my possession. If nothing else, this is going to be a sick conversation piece. I might hang it up on the wall or something, make it look cool. But hopefully these guys come out with more. You know, hint, hint, if you're watching this, please make an AK or make some sort of crazy like scar, or I don't know, man, just something to wow me, because this is up there. Okay, if you top this, you're amazing. I don't know what you guys are doing, but keep doing these. This is just amazing. Now, oh, one thing I want to point out, this box, the box that mine came in, is actually, if we look at it here, it'll say M416 gel blaster. This is just their shipping thing. Like, they updated their M416 like product line boxes and just how they ship them. So this is probably just like the first batch of these that they had. They're probably just getting rid of the boxes. Me personally, I don't care, because it gets the job done. I kind of like it, and it's also like a nostalgic feel for me because I love these guys. So having their, you know, their box, it's kind of nice for me. So hopefully you guys decide to pick one of these up. If not, well, at the very least, you know what you're getting into. So here's some other stuff that comes in. These guys are so awesome. Look, they I can't even speak, sorry. But you see, you got the return policy, easy return policy, whatever. Yeah, all this stuff is stuff that they offer. So me, as always, boys, I'm very well satisfied. Down here also they have instructions. I mean, I pretty much knew what it was from the get-go, but here it is regardless. They show you how to charge it and all that. And again, heed this. Please heed this. I'm tired of seeing people are like, oh, it doesn't work. Well, have you tried soaking them long enough? Trust me, I fell for it. And I have 2 of these. So someone with one or with no experience with this can easily fall for it. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching this video. It means a lot to me. And I'm sure it means a lot to Locke and his company that people are seeing these, because I want them to know that there's potential for these things in the West. These things are very cool overseas, but not so much in the West, probably because airsoft and all that is dominant. But definitely spend $60 to get this thing. I mean, you probably spent $60 on stuff that hasn't like given you as much joy before. And this, personally, for me anyway, someone who enjoys these kind of things, this is awesome. All right, I would buy another one of these if I needed to. So thank you again, Locke, and you guys over there at TPACFTE for you know, your awesome service. Hopefully we get to see more of you guys as a company, and you know, rest assured that I will be supporting you guys even in the future. So that'll be it for me, guys. Hopefully this helped you guys at all. If you have any questions, comments, or whatever, leave them in the, you know, where they go, and I'll do my best to answer them as soon as possible. This was kind of an on-the-fly kind of thing. I still have a couple more videos to actually record, mainly firing tests, and overall, like, hopefully I can catch a malfunction so you can see how I unjam it or whatever, but I rarely had any. The one thing I did have was, like, I think the you know, like I said, the gels weren't going in the right direction, but I fixed them. Regardless, that's it for real. That's all I have. Just stay tuned. I have something very special for you guys. You think this is my last one, but just wait. I got something even cooler. At least in my opinion, this thing's pretty cool. So just wait. Until then, though, guys, this has been Varos. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Oni Ballistics. Later.